This is week 1 of the BDE Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Devin.
I'm Gifford.
And we are going to be going over our overview, the power rankings, the winners and losers for week 1, and our projections for the entire league. Our first team in the league is Scott's team, or Feelin' Thirsty. Oh wait.
Feelin' Thirsty.
This man has Adam Thielen as a wide receiver, and he still went with Feelin' Thirsty instead of Thielen. Dumbass.
Those beer drinking, marathons getting to him. You know what I'm saying?
Stupid. Anyway, at QB, he has Matt Ryan over Aaron Rodgers, but that's a different story.
Washed.
Wide receivers, he has Rashad Bateman, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Adam Thielen, and then on the bench, he has Christian Kirk and Elijah Moore.
I've got a Thielen.
Running back, he has Henry, Barkley, Eli Mitchell, Breece Hall, Ken Walker, and the rookie Isaiah Spiller. Overall, I think that Scott's team, his weaknesses are his wide receivers, just putting that out there. And then his running backs are pretty solid. I think that's his strength.
I think it really bases off what St. Brown and Bateman are going to do. Can they be wide receiver 1 potential? If that's the start of a young, up and come up as being the guy.
I can see Bateman coming onto the scene this year.
Who else is in Detroit, Like,
they have DeAndre Swift. I mean, but
wide receiver
that's about it. Nobody.
Jared's got to throw the ball to someone.
Goff gonna throw it to the other team. That's what that is. All right. Next team in the BDE FL, we have Sut on my face or Devin. That's me.
AKA the commish, the big dog.
That's
the
me.
face that runs the place.
At QB, I have Jalen Hurts, my 13th round keeper, number 1 QB in the league this year. Don't quote me, but quote me.
Cap.
Nope. Wide receiver, we have the injured Chris Godwin coming back week 2. I don't know. We'll see. We have Sutton, the number 1 wide receiver in Denver. We have Davis. He's going to be an incredible number 2.
Who?
The Buffalo Bills wide receiver. Behind Diggs.
Never heard of him.
He's up and coming. Austin Eckler.
Support him.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's going to be number 1. Thought I was going to get CMC, but whatever. Austin Eckler. Next, we have Aaron Jones, who I'm not super huge on, but he fell to me. I got to take him. At tight end, we have the number 1 tight end overall this year, Mark Andrews. At my flex, I have Hunter Renfrow, who's going to be just a beast. Waller's going to miss time. We're all going to see it. Adams and Carr, they're going to have a great connection.
See how he builds up his team so mightily,
That's just how it goes. When you have the best team in the league, it's just how it works.
Rough take.
Sleeper running back, we got Dameon Pierce. Got him late, but he will rise to the top 15, I'd say, actually. My next bench is Drake London.
I like him. I'll give you that. I like him.
Yeah, I think I deserve props for sure. Next we have Kenneth Gainwell, who's going to take over for Miles Sanders in Philly.
Sorry, Omar. I know we're skipping ahead, but
after that we have Algier, who again is going to take over in his backfield. He's going to take Cordero Patterson's place, and I'm looking forward to that. Next is Pickens off of Pittsburgh.
NFL young boy.
Absolutely. He's going to be the wide receiver 1 on Pittsburgh, overtaking Deontay. Sorry, Scott.
Such a hot take.
And finally, we have Mr. Reliable himself, Brandon Cooks, on the Houston Texans. He will be my solid go-to every week.
2 Texans players, huh?
Probably flex. Absolutely. I believe in the Texans.
Davis Mills season?
Davis Mills, it's solid as they come, and I can't wait to see what they do next.
Hot take right now. Jalen Hurts is overrated, and it's going to show this year.
Jalen Hurts is QB1 in fantasy. And
Jalen Hurts is going to fail you this season.
Whether or not that relates to real-life quarterback, we'll see. But wide receiver 1 in fantasy. Mark my words.
You just said Jalen Hurts was a wide receiver 1 in fantasy.
Quarterback.
See?
Next team in the league, we have Acre Breaky Hart.
Don't break my... No, I'm not going to start it.
Brittany. This is Brittany's team. At quarterback, she has Josh Allen. That's fine.
That's a QB1.
That's a QB3. That's a QB3.
MVP season coming up.
He's going to be the 3rd. At wide receiver, I'll give her this. She's stacked. She has Mike Evans,
Wide receiver 1.
Jamar Chase,
Wide receiver 1.
and A.J. Brown.
Wide receiver 1.
At running back, she's looking a little bit shaky. She has Cam Akers, obviously, by her name.
Very questionable.
Very questionable. I'm not sure I trust that.
But Dalvin Cook is going to eat this year.
Dalvin Cook is going to be her running back stud.
Yes.
At tight end, she has Dalton Schultz from the Cowboys.
Who want to be a cowboy, baby.
I can see him doing really well. At flex, we have what I believe is going to be the best running back in New England.
Huge take.
Ramondre Stevenson.
That is a gigantic take, ladies and gentlemen.
Harris is going to flop.
Whoa.
Ramondre is taking over. He's going to be the number one there.
I don't even think you can spell Ramondre.
Probably not. That's okay. Next, on her bench, these are her bench players. She has Cordero Patterson, the phenom from last year.
Incredible.
I don't know if he's going to bring it back.
They should make a movie off that season.
Oh, absolutely. 30 for 30 at least.
Yeah.
After that, we have Tyler Lockett, Seahawks wide receiver.
All reliable.
2.
And I'm going to say right now, the most underappreciated receiver in the league.
I could see that. Absolutely. Nobody
Full
gives him
bias
respect.
here. I know you're a Cardinals fan, Apple. Shut the fuck up.
You can see it right there. 12s. Albert O is the next bench player from the Broncos. He's the tight end over there.
Albert Albuwali.
That's exactly how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
I think he could be top 10 in tight end.
Is he their starting tight end? I got to get shipped up here. Okay.
Yep.
Let's ride. Okay, let's go.
After that, we got a rookie in Treylon Burks, the wide receiver 2 in Tennessee. We can see him weekly doing better and better. I think eventually he overtakes Bobby Trees, but to start the season, Treylon Burks will be on the bench.
Hot take. I know this has nothing to do with our actual rosters, but I think Malik Willis takes over Ryan Tannehill somewhere during the season.
That is a hot take.
Absolutely.
I don't see it. Nico Collins is the next bench player. Nico Collins is a great wide receiver for Houston. He's not going to do better than Brandon Cooks, but I think he's a great wide receiver. That's a great pick, Brady. The final player, again, over Aaron Rodgers, Trevor Lawrence from Jacksonville.
The lesbian.
The giraffe, as we would say.
I'm going to say it right now. I was going to wait till Zach's team to bring this up. You guys are going to ruin not picking Aaron Rodgers. You guys are going to regret that.
Absolutely. I
really
agree.
badly.
Aaron Rodgers should have been picked.
Defending MVP.
Far before.
And you too, Scott. I'm not letting you off the hook. Matt Ryan over Aaron Rodgers.
That's a hard pick. Hard no. But Scott's high on Ryan this year. Wild.
He's high.
Wild.
He's high, but not for the right reason.
I know, for sure. All right. Our next team is Youngway's Kupchak. I think he was going for Young Ho, but that's not how you say his name.
This is Tommy.
Tommy's team, starting out strong with the connection between QB Matt Stafford and his wide receiver Cooper Kupp.
Timeout.
Number 1.
How questionable is Stafford's elbow this year? Apparently, they're making a big deal out of this.
I think his elbow's back. I think he's good to go, but it's probably going to slow him down.
The reports are saying watch for his elbow all season. He'll have another fantastic season.
Absolutely. He was 100% worth the keeper pick at what was it, round 5?
6.
6. Insane.
What were we? That's because we were drinking last year. That's why.
Last year was rough. All right, the next wide receiver on this team is Juju Smith-Schuster. We're going to see if Juju can connect with Patrick Mahomes. We'll see.
He has a lot to prove this year.
Absolutely. He went from incredible young player on the Steelers to
a TikTok star.
Washed up 25-year-old.
Hopefully Patrick Mahomes' brother doesn't get him too distracted.
Or his wife, man. Third wide receiver, Christian Kirk. The overpaid wide receiver 1 on Jacksonville.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. I believe in him. He was a late round pick in this year's draft. I think that he'll do all right. He was absolutely worth it there. On to running backs. We have Najee Harris and James Conner.
Workhorses.
Ezekiel Elliott at the flex. What do you think about him?
Hot take. I think we're skipping over to my team, but I think Tony Pollard takes a lot of touches from Zeke this year. And I think Zeke has officially lost his prime. I think he's done. I
think his best days are behind him, but I think he's still a reliable back. I I'm saying right now 1,100 yards at least on the ground.
He didn't hit 1,000 last year.
Are you sure? I think he went over 1,000.
We're doing a quick check, guys.
Outside of that, we have Dawson Knox at tight end, who I think is a great pick. I love the Bills' offense this year. We're going to see them.
Ezekiel Elliott had 1,002 yards last year.
What did I say?
He had
He topped it.
He had 979 the year prior. So
Okay, yeah. So he's 1,000 yard back.
I don't think he's motivated anymore.
Probably not. He got his bag. He's good. Onto the bench, we have Josh Jacobs starting out.
Another questionable guy. Yeah. A lot of talent there, but I don't know.
I could see the rookie Zamir White coming in and taking his spot. It's all going to be through the air.
It's very weird. It's very weird with guys like Jacobs who put up numbers, but it's just, I don't know. The morale isn't there. People don't like to rally around them.
The next on the bench is another Cowboy, Dak Prescott. Don't know why you took Dak and Stafford, to be honest. It seems like a waste of a pick to me, but hey, you got second place last year. I did not. I only won the past 2 years. Right. After that, we have Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
A lot of disappointing backs that I don't like on this team. I do not like Clyde. I was a big Darrell Williams fan last year, and that's very biased. But I feel like Darrell outperformed Clyde Edwards-Helaire last year.
Next, we have Jacoby Myers on the Patriots. I could see him doing something.
Wide receiver 1?
Yeah, if Parker can't return to what he was, I think Myers is going to be a good one.
Fair enough.
The third Chiefs player on this team, MVS.
MVS is a perfect player for the Chiefs because he's a home run hitter. It's either hit or miss. There's no short routes with that man. So
no, he's gone.
So we'll see. Well, I'll just leave it at that. He's a home run hitter.
Finally, the last one on this bench is Buffalo's defense because he likes to roster 2 defenses. So good on you, Tommy.
2 defenses and 2 quarterbacks.
Next team, we got best punter around. Emphasis on the Hunt because he has Kareem Hunt. Good one.
If you know, you know.
That is Tatani's team. At quarterback, starting out, we got Patrick Mahomes. Top 5 QB in fantasy this year.
His roller coaster ride last year kind of scared me a little bit.
Yeah, he kind of fell off. He's not the Mahomes of old. But
you were calling him washed last year, halfway through.
That's just because I like to have fun.
I know, but there's some truth to that.
We have fun around here. On to wide receiver. His 3 starting receivers are Keenan Allen, Jerry Jeudy, and Deebo Samuel.
One word for that is interesting. Is Jeudy finally going to break out? A lot of hype on Jeudy the first 2 years.
Yeah, no, and Jeudy hasn't been able to make anything.
Partially not his fault.
Partially. He did have Drew Lock and Teddy Two Gloves.
I will say this, Jerry Jeudy has great footwork. His route running is
impeccable.
Yes.
It's great. Mm-hmm. However, everything coming out of camp says that Cortland Sutton's the guy. And whose team is he on? Mine. Anyway, next, in Los Angeles, is Allen going to be the number 1 still over Mike Williams? We'll have to find out.
I know Keenan's probably barely 30, but he seems like he's been playing in the league for like 20 years.
I think he's 32 at this point.
And he just keeps chugging along.
But there's a reason both him and Williams went within like 5 picks of each other. You just don't know. Next, Deebo. There's a lot of stuff coming out about Ayuk. The biggest question mark is Trey Lance. Is he going to be good?
I think Deebo is still going to be the star of that team.
I think so.
Deebo's team.
But he got paid and he doesn't want to be a running back. I don't know. We'll see. At running back, speaking of them, we got Joe Mixon and Alvin Kamara.
2 very physical players off the field.
That's one way to put it.
If you know, you know.
Joe Mixon, I love it. Bengals offense, they're going to be great. We know that already. Kamara, same old Kamara. But he's just a guy, He's a dog. He's going to get through it, top 5 every year.
If I recall last year, I think we underestimated Joe Mixon. I think he fell last year. We were like, we were writing him off.
Because he was injured 2 years prior.
Right.
He just kept on doing it. Right. On to tight end. He has the new hotness, Kyle Pitts.
Huge question. I had him last year. It's a huge question to be answered this year.
He was a fantastic rookie, but he did have washed up Matt Ryan last year. Now he has... never was Marcus Mariota.
With the physical gifts that he has, I mean, we've already gotten comparisons of greatest tight end ever, which is load bearing, you know.
That's a lot to say. That's a lot to say. In the flex, we have Devonta Smith out of Philadelphia, very promising second-year wide receiver, but
I like Devontae.
AJ Brown is there now. We'll see, can Devontae build off of his freshman year, or is he going to fall back with AJ Brown taking most of the snaps?
Is your boy going to throw to him or no?
Jalen Hurts is going to be a fantastic thrower. He's going to be a fantastic runner. He's going to score points on the ground, through the air. He might even kick a couple.
He reminds me a lot, not as efficient, but a young Russ.
Yeah. We got Brandon Ayuk.
That's a slept-on stack. If they're both hot.
If they're both hot. I just don't like two wide receivers from the same team. That's just me, though. That's just me.
Fair enough.
Next, the namesake, Kareem Hunt.
3 running backs physical off the field.
Just call this domestic violence, the team.
I know.
All right. Next, we have Darrell Henderson. He is on the Rams. He's the backup to Cam Akers. I say backup lightly because who really knows who's going to start there? I don't see Cam Akers as a great running back. I see Darrell Henderson. Next after that, we got the lefty Tua Tagovailoa.
Very disrespected.
Absolutely. Do you think he's going to start over Mahomes at all this year, other than his bye?
No.
So to me, that was a wasted pick. Sorry, Tatani, your draft sucked. I know you were in Poland.
But hey, Tatani once started Mike White last year, so who knows? Who knows?
Better than Mike White. So that's good.
He thought Mike White was the next Tom Brady. Let's pull up those messages from
overcompensating a bit. This is Jamal. He's going to be the backup to Swift. There's not much else to say. He's a great receiver. He might put up 10 points here and there, but he won't be consistent.
I mean, Apple likes to joke around each week that Swift is Mr. Questionable, so. And an interesting last member gets shitted on a lot, but Chase Claypool has so much potential.
Oh, absolutely.
He has, when you look at the guy, 6'5", 230, bro, just throw him the ball. Big Ben last year, I know he had a noodle arm, but I think he needs to get some opportunity to just.
He's a DK type. You just got to give him
DK, Mike Williams. Those guys are
get him the ball.
They're too big not to get the ball, man. Like,
it's ridiculous. If he's not hurt, he should be up there. He should be above Pickens, the rookie.
And if he stops celebrating when there's 13 seconds left in the game and he just got a first down to try to win the game,
he should be in the doghouse for that. That's ridiculous.
Y'all know what game I'm talking about. It's against the Vikings. Very interesting.
The strength is probably Kyle Pitts, the tight end. Congratulations.
Come on.
What? Who would you say?
He has great. I mean, I would say a solid wide receiver core for sure.
They're all questionable. They could all be twos on their teams.
I don't think Debo's questionable.
Well, he also has Ayuk for that.
I think Debo and Joe Mixon are locks.
I think for sure this team's mid.
Damn.
Six.
Team 6. It's my team. It's a Big Chubb energy. And contrary to the commissioner, I'm not going to build my team up. I was 9th last year. I had big hopes. I'm coming off a bad year, so I want to stay humble.
Bullshit. Your team is so great.
I'm not going to.
You know it. Go ahead. Let's start listing off your players.
Before I list off my team, how did my team last year start 1-6?
Your team got unlucky.
Okay.
That just happens. It happens.
Okay.
But this year's different. I see this team going pretty far.
Kind words from the big dog. But my quarterback is Joe Shiesty, a.k.a. Joe Burrow. Wide receiver 1, Justin Jefferson, arguably the best wide receiver in the league. My second wide receiver is Scary Terry. Very interesting.
Emphasis on scary.
Very interesting to see if Carson can do any better than any of the Washington quarterbacks getting him the ball.
Tiny.
And my biggest sleeper of the draft is Michael Thomas. I had him his first year when he broke out, and I still believe in him. I think he still has, the possibilities of having that record-breaking season. It's still there. Jameis, pass-heavy quarterback. Is Olave the wide receiver? Who's the Jarvis Landry? Who else is Jameis gonna pass to?
Jarvis gone through the laundry. He's washed.
And as much as I hate to admit this, wide running back 1, I'm terrified. I am terrified to see if Christian McCaffrey is going to be healthy this season.
Number 1.
I'm being dead serious when I say I'm so scared. He might.
It's a big risk.
I'm so scared he might not last a full season. And the guy that I was surprised fell to me in the 3rd round. Some people don't like him, some people do. I love Nick Chubb. I think Nick Chubb, when healthy and motivated, is a top 5 running back in the league, hands down.
In real life.
I think he has so much talent, and with Baker gone, a new fresh start, I don't think Jacoby Brissett's going to carry the offense. Who they got to... You got to run it down their throat, and, that's the guy to use.
Interesting take to support the Browns, though. That's pretty impressive.
Well, I'm not talking
Proud of you, buddy.
My tight end is Georgie Kittle.
Bounce back.
I think he's going to be comeback player of the year. I think Trey Lance is going to have to check down to his tight ends, and I think George Kittle is one of the best tight ends in the league. Fantasy or non-fantasy.
Yeah.
Top 3 tight end in the league. And my flex, off camera, Kamish said this might be league winner, Rashad Penny.
100%. Penny, if he continues at his pace that he finished the year last year, that's easy. Top 5 running back.
We just
This team has so many questions in injuries. Is Michael Thomas coming back? Is CMC going to stay healthy? Is Kittle going to stay healthy? Is Penny going to be able to get over his groin issue?
And I'm going all in, baby. I'm going all in. And then my first bench slot is going to be Tony Pollard. And I really like Tony Pollard. He really showed out last year as a young back. And I think he's going to eventually be the successor to Ezekiel Elliott.
TP.
I said this off the air. This is going to be my make or break right here. DeAndre Hopkins, I'll take my bet on a 6-game suspension to see if D-Hop is still one of the top 5 best receivers in the league. I'll take a bet on that.
I'm not huge on DeAndre Hopkins this year. I don't think he's great with Kyler. I think that Hollywood Brown is going to take over as
the wide
receiver one there. Hopkins is a better wide receiver, absolutely, but Marquise Hollywood Brown will be the number 1 there. We both have some bad takes, that's for sure.
My next bench player is James Robinson. You might be questioning this, but ACL tears are not, nothing to scoff at. And I think James Robinson was a beast last year. And if NTN gets hurt, and I think I rode him too hard last year, but Julio Jones again this year. And I'm only going, the fact is he went from Ryan Tannehill to Tom Brady. And we saw how Tom Brady literally saved, the last 2 years of Antonio Brown's career. I think Tom Brady is smart enough to see a Hall of Famer like Julio Jones and say, I'm going to use this guy.
They're already saying that they have great chemistry in camp. I can see Julio coming back and doing great as long as Godwin's out. If Godwin is back week 1, Julio's going to take a back seat.
And we got Freiermuth. I think you guys slept on this guy. I think this guy is a great tight end. My last pick, this was actually a waiver wire. I cut someone, I forgot, to get Raheem Mostert, and that is just in case Chase Edmonds gets hurt. That's the only reason I have Raheem Mostert, and I know he's coming off an ACL injury, but production-wise, I think he can be decent if he gets to start. That's the only reason I picked him up.
I think this team is completely solid. As we said before, if they avoid injuries, this could be a top 1 or 2 team in the league. I fully believe in that. Oh, now you want to talk yourself up?
No.
On to the next one. We have More or Less, or Eric. Sunshine's team. Starting with QB, Justin Herbert. Wide receivers, we have 3 great wide receivers. 3 names that sound like they're just 2 letters. We have CeeDee Lamb, DJ Moore, and DK Metcalf. 3 guys that know how to get it done, that know how to produce, and they will this year. Even with Geno Smith and Drew Lock as the quarterback, DK was being slept on in the draft. I fully believe that.
I agree. I'm going to take it back a little bit. So out of those 3, I think CD's the biggest lock to stay consistent here or even, improve. I love DJ Moore. I'm concerned. And it's not on his part. It's what Baker has done with top receivers in the past. And just to get on Eric, though, I love DJ Moore. He's a stud.
Yep.
Such a stud.
Eric was weary about taking DJ Moore this year, but I can see
We
it.
all have our guys. Like mine is Jefferson. His is
Mine's CMC, but I don't have him
No,
this year.
yours is Hurts. Hurts is your guy.
Oh, this year hurts 100%.
But I think the past 3 years you've gotten DJ Moore. I think Eric, that's your guy. DJ Moore, that's your guy.
Yeah.
Lenny,
playoff Lenny, Lombardi Lenny.
Wingstop, bald Lenny. Is he out of shape, Lenny?
He might be this year. I could see Rashad White coming in, taking over a little bit. Not completely, but Fournette might have a reduced role this year.
And going back to my first year I played fantasy with you guys, I have the biggest gripe with Lenny because that was my first overall pick. Mm-hmm. I was 10th. I picked him up, Jaguars Lenny, and he hurt the whole season. So Lenny, F you. I'm not going to say the other word. Just F you, Lenny.
Next running back is Travis Etienne from the Jaguars.
Straight sportsmanship here. I hope he stays healthy. I could say some bad sportsmanship and say he hurts himself and puts James Robinson in there.
James Robinson.
I hope he stays healthy. I remember watching him when he was on Clemson, and he's a very talented back. So I hope he stays healthy.
At tight end, Dallas Goedert. He's going to have a fantastic year. We all know it.
Underrated stud right
Eagles are going to fly high. Goddard's going to get in the end zone constantly. Don't even worry about it. Great pick. Good job, Eric. At flex, this man has another initial name, A.J. Dillon.
I love A.J. Dillon.
A.J. Dillon is going to be great.
And I think you're worried because I think Aaron Jones is out of town real soon.
I do. I do not like Aaron Jones, and I'm fine to admit that. A.J. Dillon was somebody that I really wanted, but...
Quadzilla, right?
Yeah. Yep. He's going to come in. He's going to do his thing. Bench. We have receivers Bobby Trees,
Robert Woods, for those who don't know.
Chris Olave, the rookie that you might be worried about. And we have the running backs, Cook, Madison.
Alexander Madison. He popped off a couple games last year.
Mm-hmm. As long as Cook stays healthy, though, he is essentially trash.
Going back to Olave, though, I'm not worried, and here's the reason why. I don't want to jinx myself here, but we saw what Jameis did with young receivers last year. Not really the best connection with the young guns.
Throwback to Marquez Callaway.
I thought he was going to the moon. When Michael Thomas was out last year, I sent him to the moon.
I had way too much hope in that man, and he let me down. Next, we have Hunter Henry, the tight end from New England.
A slept-on tight end? A lot of people's... I mean, he had a couple... like 8 or 9 touchdowns last year?
He was one of the top tight end touchdown scorers last year.
So very surprising. He slid. A lot of y'all need to check up on your tight ends here. Cause...
There were some rough drafts, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Rough drafts. But you already have Goddard. So what's the point of Hunter Henry? Goddard's going to be a top 5 tight end.
I fully support the 2 tight end system. I'm with you, Eric.
Next, we finally have the next quarterback on this team. Again, the double quarterback, Trey Lance.
Hot take. He needs to prove to me that he can throw the ball. Because I don't think that man can throw the ball.
He needs to prove to you nothing, first of all.
First off, he's in the NFL making millions of dollars. That's 1,000% correct. But I don't think that man can throw the ball efficiently.
He doesn't need to in fantasy. He's a runner. He's a track star. And he will be a top 10 quarterback. Well, they just...
Top 10?
Top 10 in fantasy. I believe in that.
I disagree. No.
Strengths and weaknesses.
Oh, strength? I don't know what his strengths are. His quarterback. That's his biggest strength right there.
Herbie is going to be fully loaded this year. Oh. Yeah, as many positives as we said about all of these wide receivers, CeeDee Lamb didn't fully break out last year.
Which was disappointing. I know you were disappointed with it last
100%. DJ Moore has Baker, and we brought that up earlier. DK Metcalf has Geno Smith. However, he did do great with Geno last year.
I want him to succeed so bad.
We all do. Anyway, I really think that Eric's team is solid, but we just don't know what to make out of it.
It's a lot of question marks.
Absolutely. Team 8 is Omar, or Michael Malone. His quarterback is Lamar Jackson.
I think he's going to do well. But last year really stumped me. I don't know why he played as bad as he did last year. He played shitty last year. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
He was terrible last year.
I think he's just a better version of Trey Lance. Wide receivers, I think they're great. I think he has 3 solid wide receivers. However, 2 of them are the second wide receivers on their teams. We have Devontae Adams out of Las Vegas.
Which I think outside of fantasy football, I think he's the best wide receiver in the league.
Best pure wide receiver.
Yes.
Next, we have T. Higgins, which he's really good. He's solid, but you have to see that Jamar Chase is there.
I like T, though.
Allen Robinson. This was your guy this year.
Very disappointing season last year, but I think he's going to get fed a lot. And I think we're going to see some of those Chicago Bears good seasons out of Allen Robinson here.
That was a good one, Omar. Next, his keeper, Javonte Williams.
Workhorse. That's a workhorse right there.
I'm upset that I didn't get him. Omar, that was a great choice.
So you're hoping for his whole career just to be, pulled back a little bit.
Yeah, just let me get him next year, man? Next, I can say with 100% certainty, I do not like this guy, Miles Sanders. He's just not that guy.
From past experiences, he is not that guy, and he is a bona fide bum.
I can't be sold on him. Sorry.
I mean, his nickname is Booby for a reason.
Booby. Tight end, Travis Kelce. He's going to be the only option on that team for the majority of the season.
I mean, with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, Juju has a possibility to go back to that potential that we once saw.
At flex, we have Alan Lazard in Green Bay.
Sleeper.
Next, the bench players for this man, Omar. He has TJ Hawkinson as a backup to Kelce, so he has 2 top 10 tight ends on his team. Next is Amari Cooper.
I think he'll be okay.
He'll be fine.
Nyheim Hines.
Nyheim Hines is an interesting pick. A lot of people are saying Jonathan Taylor has the job locked up. He's going to be the receiving back as well. But why would they keep paying Hines if they think Jonathan Taylor is going to take all the work?
Well, I mean, we've seen it through the history of time, whether it's Adrian Peterson or Derrick Henry. If you work a guy too hard, they're going to get hurt.
Hines will be nice if JT gets hurt. He's going to play over Miles Sanders. I can already see that. It's going to be rough for your running backs this year, Omar. I'm sorry, bud.
Let's ride!
Russell Wilson. Broncos country. Let's ride.
Russ, you know what? That's another big question mark. New system. And we know how Russ can slump for weeks at a time. I will not tolerate Russ slander around here.
No, he doesn't deserve it. But they are in the hardest division. It's going to be tough. I think it's a great pick. I love Russ this year. He could be over Lamar Jackson.
And yes, Apple, he's better than Kyler. Deal with it.
Next, J.D. McKissick. Last, we have Khalil Herbert on the Bears. The running back behind David Montgomery.
But a very confusing team. Your strengths are definitely your receivers. If I had to pick a strength, just outlock.
100%.
It's your receivers.
And tight end.
Especially if, the slight chance that Lazard thrives being wide receiver 1, that's your strength right there, is your receivers. Miles Sanders is a killer. If anything, you need to work up and get another running back, but you trade something.
He wants Allen Robinson. The penultimate team, we have Pity City, a.k.a. Matt Apple.
My favorite.
At QB, we have short stack himself, Kyler Murray.
That's his guy.
It is. Everybody's got a guy.
And
it's him.
And I'm going to go on the record right now. Kyler Murray is the most overrated quarterback in the NFL.
Wide receivers, all excellent. Again, there's a lot of wide receivers this year that I love.
Yes, me too.
Stephon Diggs.
Killer.
Michael Pittman.
Killer.
Mike Williams.
Killer. We don't even have to go with the strength. That's your strength right there.
Your running backs don't stack up. Sorry.
Okay, we're skipping down to DeAndre Swift and Monty. If Monty's your running back too, I'm not high on Monty. I like Swift. Monty doesn't impress me that much.
Monty is the Brandon Cooks of running backs to me. He's solid. Every week he'll get you about 12 points.
Swift is consistent, so...
Swift, I'll give it to you. I was dogging on him last year.
I honestly didn't know if he was injured or not, but I was honestly confused why he was getting dogged last year. I was like, why?
At tight end, this man has David Njoku.
Enjoy this, Apple. He doesn't apologize often.
I like Njoku this year.
You do?
I do. Njoku could be in line for a breakout, but we've been saying that for 5 years now.
I have one word for Njoku. It's
Yeah. At flex, Hollywood Brown.
I don't think he's that great.
I do think he's an average receiver, but Kyler's going to elevate him. I think their chemistry is going to go a long way.
The Cardinal lover over here.
Tommy had the Chiefs, you have the Cardinals. Onto the bench.
Damian Harris.
I said my feelings earlier.
Which I disagree with.
Ramondre Stevenson is better than Damian Harris.
Damian Harris is the man in New England.
Next, we have the actual man on his team, Chase Edmonds.
And guess what? Former Cardinal.
That's probably why you were drawn to him.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie though, I was looking at him for the pick that he went.
Interesting dynamic for the Dolphins. We got Tyreek and we got Jalen. I mean,
We'll speak about them next.
Tua's a mobile quarterback too. I don't know. It's an interesting team.
Next, we have Antonio Gibson on the commies, on the Commanders. After Brian Robinson got shot, I do see Gibson having a decent first part of the season.
Did Antonio Gibson set Brian Robinson up?
Gibson should probably be in prison. It's a little fishy. Let's just say that.
Just admit you did it.
The final running back on this team is Michael Carter on the Jets. The starting running back, sorry Scott, Breece Hall is the backup for week 1. Tolbert, love that pick. He's going to be taking Gallup's spot for at least the first couple weeks.
I did see about that. Okay.
I do think that Tolbert has the skills to come in and do work, for sure. Jahan Dotson, he's going to be a great number 2.
Is he going to take Scary Terry's job too?
No,
huh?
No. I like the stash. Good on you, Apple.
Overall thoughts on his team?
Like you said, wide receivers, that's where your bread and butter is. If you ever need to make improvements on your team, you're going to have to sell one of your wide receivers.
I'm going to say Apple is undoubtedly bordering a top 3 or 4 team in the league, starting off the season.
I agree. This is a great team. Good on you, Apple. Final team, we got Zach, or as he likes to call it, Zach's Genius Team. Maybe come up with a team name, Zach. At QB, we have Tom Brady.
Is he ever going to age or have a drop-off season?
Have you looked at his face, man? It's all plastic at this point. He's not able to age anymore.
His jaw is starting to look scary.
On to wide receivers. We have Hill and Waddle from Miami. I'm not a huge fan of the double stack on the wide receivers.
I'm more concerned for Waddle than Hill because Waddle was getting accustomed to being the guy, and now he's not. So we'll see. Is Tua gonna be able to?
Is he gonna be able to take that next step? We'll see. Finally, we got Mooney.
Very high on.
Love it.
Mooney.
Love it. Great pick, Zach. Honestly.
I know it hurts for you being a Packer fan making this pick, but Justin Fields is gonna feed that man a lot this season.
At running back, we have the surprise keeper at pick number 5, Jonathan Taylor.
Fantasy-wise, coming off last year, has every right to be the best running back in fantasy football. So
next running back, we got J.K. Dobbins. I don't know if he's even going to play week 1.
Coming off a serious injury, I think he did pretty well his rookie season. I remember him scoring a lot. And, I mean, you can't forget your RB2, Lamar Jackson. So not high on J.K. Dobbins this year. Hope he proves me wrong.
At tight end, we have Darren Waller. It looked like he wasn't going to play week 1, but then it came out that he was just looking for a new contract. Waller is an incredible story, but he's just getting up there in age. I don't know if he's going to be the tight end 4 that he was drafted to be.
Waller, he's very confusing.
In the flex, we have Melvin Derrick Henry Gordon. Is he going to be that guy this year?
I don't know, because I'm projecting Javonte to make that step.
I am too.
So.
Sorry, Omar. I dogged on Javonte a little bit. I think that Melvin Gordon is going to take a step back. I think it's Javonte's team now. On the bench, we got Devin Singletary. Singletary, excuse me.
Not high on Devin, especially in that offense.
Next, we have tight end Zach Ertz for the Cardinals.
I don't think that's a trash pick.
Really? Next, we have Kadarius Toney.
Excluding Danny Dimes, the ceiling is there.
Well, excluding Danny Dimes and excluding his history of injuries. I do like him this year. He might be able to start in your flex, but
a lot of questions there, and
lots of questions.
And skipping on to your next wide receiver, big question. Very inconsistent. I'm going to say it right now. Tyler Boyd is inconsistent. The oldest out of the 3 and probably on his way out. So, bad pick. I'm going to say it right now. That's a bad pick. And Shiesty's throwing to him. So.
Wow. I still like the Bengals offense. If one of those 2 goes down, Boyd is that guy. He can step up still. Next, we have Tampa Bay, your second defense. That's fine. Finally, the last guy, Mr. Irrelevant. The one that was actually picked last in our draft because nobody wanted to touch him for some reason. The back-to-back MVP, Aaron Rodgers.
And I can't stress this enough, guys. Brittany, Scott.
Calling people out.
No, I'm being serious. You guys are going to regret passing on Aaron Rodgers. And I'm not going to sit here and, go up for reigning MVP, blah, blah, blah. There is no way in blue hell that Matt Ryan and Trevor Lawrence are going to have a better season than Aaron Rodgers this year. There's no way. There's no way. I don't care if Trevor Lawrence has a breakout season. On God's green earth, this is not going to happen.
I'm excited to see it.
Matt Ryan's best day, he couldn't see Aaron Rodgers' worst season.
Matt Ryan was an MVP.
Yeah.
Okay. Ayahuasca Aaron. I'll see it. Next section is power rankings. Full disclosure, these are my power rankings. They're not Gifford's. He'll chime in here and there. To start, we have Zach's Genius Team at 10. Again, the Hill and Waddle. I don't like the stack. I don't like Melvin Gordon. Not huge on J.K. Dobbins. Waller, he's getting older. Not a huge fan. Omar at number 9. Michael Malone, I don't see your team making it too far right now. As we said before, Miles Sanders. He's not it. I don't see Lazard being incredible. Yes, he's just your flex, but still. Your wide receivers are where your team is going to lie. Lamar Jackson, he's fine.
And I don't know if those 3 can carry.
At 8, we have Feelin' Thirsty, Scott's team. This team has an old-ass quarterback, 3 wide receivers that are just not wide receiver ones. However, your running backs, opposite of Omar, your running backs are where your strengths lie. Henry and Barkley, if they can stay healthy,
man,
they are the guys.
And looking at that, I forgot. I mean, Eli Mitchell is still there and Brees is still there. So
you have a lot of potential. However, you are starting at 8. I'm not huge on your team. Sorry. At 7, we have Tatani, best punter around. We have Mahomes, Allen, Judy, Debo, Mixon, Kamara, Pitts, and Smith. That's your starting lineup.
Not bad.
Not too bad. I really like them.
Actually, pretty good. I'm gonna give Tatani credit here. That's a good starting lineup.
Here's where the teams start to get a little bit harder to predict. I'm not huge on the bench. I don't know about Ayuk. I don't know about Henderson.
Don't know about Hunt, really.
Williams is a non-factor in Detroit.
And you don't know about Chase either.
Claypool might not even be that guy.
And you don't know about Tua. That's all. The whole bench is
but he
a
has
whole.
Mahomes. Tatani just has to address that bench, and he could make a run, though. At number 6, we have Youngway's Cup Check.
Which he's not accustomed to being this low.
Tommy was number 2 last year, if you remember. What you have riding for you is that Cup and Stafford stack. That's great. You have Najee. He's going to be a top
workhorse.
Yeah, he's going to be a top back in the league. James Conner, we'll see if he can repeat.
If the offense goes well, Dawson Knox has a lot of potential to be a top 5 tight end in fantasy football.
Top 5 is big.
Possibly top 3. I like Dawson Knox a lot.
Same with Tatani. Your bench is okay. You have a couple mediocre running backs in Jacobs and CEH.
Kind of less questionable, though, because I feel like
absolutely
Clyde is definitely the guy. Zeke is still definitely the guy.
So is Jacobs.
And at this point, Jacobs is still the guy. We can't say that about Tatani's team.
And that's why you're above Tatani. At number 5, we have Eric. More or less. We have Herbert, CeeDee Lamb, DJ Moore, DK, Fournette, ETN, Goddard, AJ Dillon. Again, as we said earlier, your running backs
are going to make or break you.
Fournette, we don't know what he's going to be like this year. Goddard, easy, top 5 tight end. I love him. And then your wide receivers, they're all young studs. I could see this team making a lot of noise. The bench is a little shaky. I would say more shaky than Tommy's, but I like your starting team better than Tommy's.
The wide receivers to me are still a question mark. As talented as they are, still a big question mark to me.
Oh yeah, they all have question marks. Number 4 is Set on My Face, or me.
Showing some humility here.
We have number 1 quarterback Hurts. We have Chris Godwin, who, if he is healthy, he could be better than Mike Evans on that roster.
I've been saying that for years.
Cortland Sutton, Davis, Aaron Jones, and Eckler. I think Eckler and Aaron Jones, that's an underrated pair. However, I'm not huge on Aaron Jones. They could be okay.
Eckler will cover Aaron Jones's mistakes. Yeah.
Mark Andrews, top 1 in the league. Renfro is okay, but my bench could fill in for Renfro. Damian Pierce is a huge wild card. Damian Pierce could be that guy in Houston. He could be a top 10 running back in the league.
Drake London is wide receiver 1 for Atlanta.
I mean, Kyle Pitts is there, but yes, wide receiver 1, technically, yeah. Drake London. I could see him doing great. Gainwell, I could see him overtaking Miles Sanders. As you heard, we do not like Sanders this year. Algier, he could take over for Patterson. We'll see. Pickens and Cooks, I think they're going to be reliable receivers this year.
I think, is it George Pickens?
Yeah.
I think George Pickens is going to be Rookie of the Year.
Wow. Not his quarterback?
No.
Wow. Pickett is not going to be it.
Only because Trubisky's going to start a couple games.
Okay. But, I mean, obviously I drafted this team. That's why I like it. But yeah, number 4, I think that's fair for me. Number 3, I decided to put Pity City or Matt Apple.
That hurts him a lot.
Yeah. No, it's rough. But, I mean, what can you say? The wide receivers are incredible. Diggs, Pittman, and Mike Williams.
You love his bench,
that's
too.
Fantastic. Yeah, the bench. I'm okay with Damian Harris. Chase Edmonds, that's a great pick. He's going to be great down in Miami. 2 young wide receivers who I think are going to break out this year. And we have Antonio Gibson, who's going to be the guy until Robinson comes back. Carter, same with him in New York. Yep. He's going to be the guy until Breece Hall catches up. I do think that this team has a lot of potential, and that is why they are top 3.
The only concern is once Gibby and once Carter kind of go down, his running backs are going to start thinning out a little bit.
Yeah, he's probably going to drop. I'm going to be honest right now.
Too much weight on Monty's shoulder.
Next, we have Gifford. I think that Big Chubb Energy is the number 2 team starting out right now. Burrow, Justin Jefferson, Terry McLaurin, they're all 3 solid players. However, it does get a little iffy with Michael Thomas and CMC and Kittle. If those 3 can produce at what they were 2 years ago, 3 years ago now, which is asking a lot, they could be the number 1 team in this league easily. If DeAndre Hopkins comes back and he performs at what he was on the Texans, this is a fantastic team. Pollard, as you think, he might be able to come in and take over for Zeke. We'll see.
What do you think about Pollard?
I really like him.
Okay.
I think he's a worse Alvin Kamara.
I like that.
He's slick.
I like
with
that
it.
comparison.
He's slick with it. And of course, that leaves number 1, Acre Breaky Heart.
Wifey.
Brittany. QB, Josh Allen. Easy. He's going to be top 3. Evans, Chase, and AJ Brown. That
3-headed monster.
Incredible wide receiver core. That is where your strength is. Just like a couple other teams, but this is the actual top team in the league. Your running backs are really shaky. I'm not going to lie. You waited a long time to get a running back outside of Cook. You took Cook first. That's a great pick. Dalton Schultz, I think he's a little hyped up, but he's still going to be solid. Ramondre Stevenson, I've said it already. I think he's going to be the guy in New England. So yeah, number 1, Brittany, Acre Breaky Heart. Finally, we got our league matchups. For week 1, we have Sut on My Face versus Feeling Thirsty, Scott. Who do you think's going to win that match?
I think Devin is going to win that game.
That's so sweet.
Only because anybody ranked below 5th place has a hard time dealing with this guy right here. He I don't know, he just has everybody's number.
I agree. I think that I'm going to win. Sorry, Scott. You're going to lose week 1. Gonna take that L.
It's going to be a close game, though.
No, it's not. I'm going to win. I'm going to stomp your fucking face.
I didn't say it, he did.
I didn't either. Next, we got Big Chubb Energy, him, versus Omar, Michael Malone. Omar was number 9 on my power rankings. I don't think that Omar's team's going to be great coming out the gate, at least. I think it's going to get better over the year. But right now, your team is nothing to be messed with.
I'm going to, of course, say me. I am terrified because I went 0-2 against Omar last year. And he might have my number. It just might be one of those matchups that I can't win.
On to the next one. We got More or Less, Eric, and Acre Breaky Heart. I do think that Brittany's going to take it. I think that this is going to be a close one. But I do think that Brittany walks away from this one, the winner.
I'm going to go with the upset. I think Eric wins week 1. And the reason I'm saying this is because even though he's going for MVP campaign, Josh Allen has a tough week 1. Thursday night against the Rams. And when you're the quarterback and you hold so much responsibility on a fantasy football team, that's a tough matchup to start up with. So I'm going to go Eric with the upset. I think Josh might have an off game. First game of the season, getting warm.
All right. Next, we have Pity City versus Best Punter Around. So Apple versus Titani. Who do you think's going to take that one?
I think Apple starts off the year 1-0.
I have to agree. Technically, I guess based on projections right now, that is the upset. I see Apple taking this one, though. I just can't see past that wide receiver core. It's great. Diggs, Pittman, and Williams. It's going to be great. I can see him taking over week 1 and not letting go.
Man, projections really don't mean shit, though.
They never do. Final matchup of the week, we got Zach's Genius Team, which is Zach, and we have Young Way's Cup Check, which is Tommy. What do you think about that one?
Tommy wins this week.
I think that's pretty easy to say. Right now, looking at it, Waddle's questionable, J.K. Dobbins is questionable, and Darren Waller is questionable.
I think you're going to have to put in that backup, Zach. I don't think Dobbins is playing.
And I hate to say it because Tommy just went on a roll last year. He is going to start out 1-0, and we're going to see how that goes. And that's it for week 1 of the BDE Fantasy League podcast. Thanks for coming in. I know it's a little rough, but hey, that was a fun one. I thought it was really good.
I had a great time. I can't wait to do the others.
Every
13
week,
weeks.
Every week we are coming back, and maybe we'll have some guests, maybe we won't.
Doing this during the playoffs is going to be incredible.
It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
So week 1, we got our weekly contest. Week 1 is going to be hot start. The highest overall team score. We'll see who wins. Good luck to everybody, and we'll see you in week 2.